Everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to get started on the extreme trials of Heavensward. Torsifer is outside of the House Fortom. Sorry, my brain is farting, apparently. It was a long day at work. Torsifer, what do you got? Torsifer has a message for us from a mysterious stranger. Ah, my lady Satora, during your absence a stranger came calling. Upon learning that you are away, he left a message to the effect that he wishes to speak with you and will await you at the Rising Stones. If you have a mind to oblige the stranger, please be careful. I cannot well explain why, but it put me ill at ease to simply be near him. The Rising Stones, eh? Back to Mordona, then. That hasn't really been our base of operations for a good while, for reasons. Curious that they want to meet with us there. Alright, what do you have for us? Who is this mysterious stranger? And now that the Scions are getting back together at last, I probably should start coming in and actually checking on everyone. I'm pretty sure I've already missed stuff. I'll be sure to do that at the start of the main story for patch 3.1. Well, whoever wants to meet with us, they sure are late for having gotten here first. My thanks for coming. Unukalha is my name, and I serve a friend. I sought you out that I might alert you to the rising threat of the beings known as Icons. You are aware of the threat, you say? Ah, but I speak not of the primals with which you are exceedingly well acquainted. It may interest you to know that the term Icon and the beings to which it refers precede the Garlean Empire by eras. You see, it is the name by which the Allagans called godlike beings, the dark divinity Odin among them, and the Garleans, who seek to emulate the glory of ancient Allag, have simply availed themselves of it. Pray permit me to continue that tale. Ah, Urianche, how kind of you to join us. As a warrior of light's comrade, my participation is but to be expected. After all, the matter doth pertain to the very fate of the star. The Icons availed. In the distant past, these mighty beings did offer fierce resistance to the Allagan Empire. However, they eventually fell to the men of Allag, who devised the means by which to capture them. And it did not end with capture, as you well know, for the Allagans also learned how to harness the Icons' power. They refined this knowledge at the Etherochemical Research Facility on Azus La, and within the centrifugal crystal engine, they sealed 3 of the beings, the Warring Triad. 'Twas first and foremost to acquire the infinite power of the Warring Triad that the Archbishop did seek Azus La. But in the wake of his defeat, the bindings which confined the Icons were severely damaged. Doubt not but that they will fail completely ere long. Know that we do not condemn you for striking down the Archbishop. You are simply fulfilling your destiny, and yet, were the Warring Triad to be released into the world, unimaginable destruction would ensue. Take heart, for there is hope still. Through swift action, we may yet prevent their awakening and see them resealed. But in dealing with this new threat, our first step must be to contend with the old. 2 savage gods are returned, I fear, summoned once more by their worshippers, and at a strength far surpassing their previous incarnations. I speak of the primals Ravana and Bismarck. If left unchecked, they will inevitably seek to seize the power of the Warring Triad. This will serve to feed the confluence of chaos and hasten the Icon's awakening. To wit, we must needs vanquish both their kinds. I pray thee, however, to first focus thy gaze upon the primals, ere we turn our attention to those Icons in their fitful slumber. I shall return to the Waking Sands forthwith and consider such measures as are available to us. Meanwhile, I bid thee attend to the task of eliminating the primals. Young Unukalhai shall assist thee. Rest assured he is not our enemy, for the time being at least. Alright. We've got a triple threat. Quintuple threat, I guess? Bismarck, Ravana, and the 3 members of the Warring Triad. Warring Triad is the collective term for three immensely powerful icons that were brought into existence during the twilight of the Third Astral Era. Summoned by the native tribes of Mericidia, these entities were set against the encroaching forces of the Allegan Empire. The strength of a primal is determined by the fervent prayers of its faithful, and as the Mericidians' prayers called for saviors with the power to throw back an imperial invasion, the resulting incarnations were perforce imbued with nigh incalculable might. That the Allegans were capable of conquering such godlike beings well illustrates the incredible heights to which their technology had ascended. The implacable empire subdued and imprisoned the Warring Triad, shackled them to machinery that sustained the icons' forms, whilst at the same time leeching away their infinite energies. For 5 millennia did the Warring Triad languish thus in dreaming servitude. They slumbered undisturbed until Archbishop Thornton VII of Ishgard rattled the bars of their cage. The Archbishop had come to Ozisla seeking to absorb the Three's power and make of himself a god without rival. It was fortunate then that the Warrior of Light and her companions thwarted Thornton before he realized his tyrannical ambitions. But the victory was not without consequence. The violence of the battle cracked the seals that keep the Triad in torpor, and the icons have begun to stir. Worse, the Garlean Empire and their heavy-handed efforts to plunder the secrets of Ozisla threatened to drag them into the full wakefulness. These terrible entities must be destroyed before they arise in all their cataclysmic splendor. There will be updates as we go along. We'll be sure to check back after each step. But for now, we're starting off with the Diabolical Bismarck. Unukalhai would have you face the Lord of the Mist once more. If we are to prevent the awakening of the Warring Triad, then Bismarck must be cast down once more. I am aware of the rather unorthodox method you employed to lure out and slay the White Whale before, and had a mind to follow the established precedent. That said, islands are not easy to come by. I should hope it is not necessary, but you may as well show this gemstone to Chief Sonu. He will know it as the Weeping Eye of the Manuk Manai, and it will ensure that he is completely committed to our cause. Oh, and before you ask, I have already informed Master Garland of our plans. He is currently en route to the Blue Window. Alright, off we go to the Sea of Clouds. Nope, wait, Oxundu directly. Let's head to Sonu Vanu first, and then go find Sid. Alright, Sonu Vanu, I bring you a gift and need your assistance with something. Something rather urgent. Oh, and now that we are back up here, let's switch into warmer clothing. The Tramontane returns, and with it the white. So too comes the great Netherling warrior. I have a gift for you. This round gemstone, heavily aspected to both water and wind, is believed by the Zundu tribe to be one of the eyes of the Manuk Manai, a great beast of Vanu legend. Like double rainbows in the mist, Sonu knows not what to make of this. An eye in the hands of a Netherling. All the way across the sky. Oh wow, what could it mean? I'm so old. I'm so old. Storm clouds of the Vundu are no match for the eye's might. Smash it against the Aetheryte in the whale's crown and he will be vulnerable once more. Bind him with chains of steel and drive him from the cloud sea. Return Zephyr winds and sunlight to our lands. Alright, let's go meet up with Sid, and then it sounds like we have a destination beyond that. An Aetheryte. Alright, Sid, you're right down by the airship. Fair enough. Alright, hello, Sid. You ready to go? There you are, Satora. The Enterprise Excelsior is ready to depart whenever you are. I've actually been told about an Aetheryte that'll take us where we need to go. Say again? Chief Sonu wants you to smash some gemstone against an Aetheryte to dispel a barrier of storm clouds? I don't even know where to begin. Bah, the hells with it. Maybe it'll bring us good luck. I'll rendezvous with you there. Sounds good. Let's go find this Aetheryte. Oh, heart-shaped island. But the Aetheryte, I actually passed by it briefly while I was doing all the fates in the area, and completely had forgotten about it. I completely forgot that you use it to reach Bismarck Extreme. Though I do believe we didn't actually end up seeing the Aetheryte since it was during fates that I did not include. Now arriving at our destination, the Aetheryte. What's the land path to get here? Looks like, want to take the north path. So, starting from the village, go up, across all the bridges, up the stairs, down this way, all the way south, and that'll bring you here. Good to know there is indeed a land path to get here. Though this aetheryte is absolutely massive. After a pause, we smash the gemstone against the aetheryte. Nothing much happens. Out of habit, we attune with the aetheryte, and once more, nothing much happens. Fair enough. Alright, I will be back in time with my friends, and we will take on Bismarck Extreme. Alright, we are back. Let's do this. Hopping into the Limitless Blue Extreme. Alright, this took us 2 attempts to do. I'm going to keep both attempts in. All issues that arose during this duty came due to the fact that I accidentally had my mic muted for the entire raid and didn't realize until after we were done. Oops. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to start going through the mechanics using Console Games Wiki as my source. So, it is going to be very similar to the hard version that you fight in the main story. Starting out, as you get close, Bismarck's going to open up with their initial slam into the island. Not much we can do about this one. And then 2 enemies will be spawned. One will be melee, one will be ranged. We need to kill both of them to activate the dragon killers. In the meantime, about 35 seconds after the fight starts, Bismarck will slam into the island again. We need to use the Magitech field generator to protect against it. If we don't use it in time, we're going to take extra damage and our island's going to die a lot faster. And that could be really bad. Once the dragon killers have been fired, we need both to be fired. Usually it's a good idea to have your ranges or healers dealing with those. They'll drag Bismarck in as before. We're going to hop on. While we are standing on it, we're going to get the Turbulence debuff, which will do damage over time, and a burst of damage every time we get a stack. We need to kill the Chitin Carapace as quickly as we can. Unlike the normal version, you may need to jump off manually. I believe this becomes a bigger issue later in the fight. But you will need to jump off manually for the most part to make sure that you don't fall to your death. Bismarck will just drop you to your death if you are not careful. Alright, once we hit phase 2 here by breaking the Chitin Carapace, we're going to have Ulsanua and Sosua, which will be wind and water aspected. At the same time as they spawn, we want to keep them apart or they will start buffing each other. At the same time as they spawn, they're going to use abilities called Dead Water or Dead Wind, which will give 4 players water debuff and 4 players a wind debuff. We goofed up here. We were trying to fix with a tank swap to fix the water and wind debuffs, but we goofed because I had my mic muted. But yes, so if you have the water debuff, attacking the water type Sanua will reflect the damage back at you. If you attack the wind type while you have the wind debuff, your damage will be reflected back at you. You want to fight the one that does not match your debuff. And that is what we were trying to fix. We were attacking the wrong ones, so we need to swap it out. And somehow we actually did make it to phase 3, just with only 1 person alive. Alright, we're gonna hop back into it. But yeah, going over Ulsanua and Sosua again. 4 players will get a wind debuff, 4 players get a water debuff. You want to attack the enemy that has the opposite element to your debuff. If you have wind, attack water. If you have water, attack wind. They will occasionally flip who has which debuff. So you will need to pay attention to that, and you may need to swap who you're fighting. Tanks may need to swap who's fighting who during the fight. Though our DPS is good enough because this is synced, that's not really an issue. Other things that come up during the ads phase, they will do frontal cleave, so tanks make sure they're facing away from the party. Keep them spread apart so that they don't start tethering and buffing each other. There will be AoE water circles that are spawned by Ulsanua, and AoE tornadoes spawned by Sosua. The water AoEs look to be more dangerous, but the wind AoEs, the tornadoes, will move around and also stun you if they hit you, so keep an eye out for that. Be careful of both, and just kill them as fast as you can. There is a time limit. Eventually, Bismarck will enrage if you do not kill them fast enough. Alright, entering into Phase 2 once more. Once this is done, we can move on to Phase 3. And they don't put up their Reflect debuff for a moment after they spawn, so since my voice, my mic was off, everyone else was discussing strategy, and I was trying to chime in, and nobody could hear me, and they ended up deciding that we're just gonna stick with tanks are just gonna have to take the damage if they get the reflect. I think once we get around to doing this on mine, which we intend to do, we're working on Titan right now. I swear we're gonna beat Titan someday. Once we get around to mine, we're gonna have to do this properly, but it's not the worst strategy for now, especially since couldn't communicate because nobody knew I was muted. It looks like they reapply the buff 3 times total. There will be 3 applications of the debuffs to the party before the enrage happens. Moving on to Phase 3. Bismarck is going to blow the island to smithereens, destroy our Magitech field generator, so we are on a time limit now. And we need to kill them as quickly as we can because they're ads, they're annoying, they do damage, they cause problems. One of them has a knockback we need to watch out for. The Lanmai Vundu has a knockback we need to watch out for. They also like to stun us, or maybe that's Bismarck slamming into the island. Could be both. 60 seconds after the enemies appear, the Dragon Killers become available. We need to fire them within 10 seconds, or Bismarck will disable them. So, gotta move fast. There is a weather mechanic during this phase, which apparently also appears in the main story version of the fight. I wasn't aware. The 3 types of weather you can see are wind, where clouds will be dark yellow, and the weather will be showers. Bismarck will cast Sharp Gust, which is a knockback from the center of the platform, and afterwards Rainstorm, a donut AoE from the center. Dodge the AoEs, then stack in the center to avoid being knocked off by the knockback, then run back to the center to dodge the donut. For this, if you do not destroy the Corona in time, you do need to manually jump off of Bismarck or you will drop to your death. The second weather to watch out for is water. Clouds are normal gray and the weather is rain. Bismarck will cast Primal Tears, which is a high damage unmarked AoE in the center, and afterwards Deep Draft, granting any living vapor bubble a 200% damage up. So during water, we need to kill the vapor bubble enemies immediately. Stay towards the edge of the arena to avoid the circle AoE, and yeah, not too hard on that one. The last weather to watch out for is thunder. Clouds will be purple and the weather is thunderstorms. Bismarck will cast lightning bolt, striking 4 random players with unmarked AoE, so we need to spread out. Afterwards, he casts Thunder Head, which gives hits players with higher damage bolts if the vapor bubbles are not alive. So when Thunder's up, we want to leave the vapor bubbles alone. If we kill them, then we take the extra damage. The Turbulence debuff, we have 3 stacks of it. You want to generally try to make sure you have no more than 3 stacks of the debuff, as that can get very, very lethal to anyone who's not a tank. Tanks can take up to about 5. I'm not sure what reference the guide is using. It might be talking about mine, it might be talking about synced, I'm not entirely sure. But it is a good idea to be mindful of how many stacks of the Turbulence debuff you have from standing on Bismarck. And that should be just about everything. Let's go ahead and finish off Bismarck, destroy the Corona. Good time to use a melee limit break, though we're not going to need it. And I will meet you back outside of the trial. Alright, we are back. Went ahead and did a few unsynced runs of Bismarck with my friends to get myself the White Lantern Whistle for the mount, and the Bismarck Triple Triad card. Also picked up a few other things, namely I got both of the faded copies of Orchestrion Rolls, gonna be crafting those at some point. And also picked up, where is it? The Expanse Baleen, because I'm gonna use that for crafting a... Okay, apparently we can craft a wind-up Bismarck. I thought there was a barding in here I could craft as well. Maybe I have not unlocked that yet. Okay, maybe I'll need 2 of those Expanse Baleens. Whatever, it's fine. As storm clouds give way to sunlight, so hope returns to Zundu and clarity of vision to Sonu. Sonu sees Netherling for who she truly is. Netherling is bearer foretold. Once long ago, in the midst of a great battle with a tribe from the Nethers, a horrid wicked demon comes to feast on the bodies of the fallen. Manuk Manai we name him, Manuk Manai we decry him. For generations he hunts the Vanu Vanu, but this day we say no more. Greatest of our heroes climbs atop the beast's back, and with blades black as midnight, she rips his eyes from his head and casts them into the cloud sea. In hour of great need, eyes return to the Vanu, look to their bearer for salvation. So she declares, so it comes to pass, and now Netherling's deeds will we remember forevermore. Alright, a great deed this day indeed, defeating Bismarck Extreme. Not too tough of a fight, but also we did it level synced, and everyone else was basically at item level cap. Sure, we were only at item level 187, but everyone else was at cap. So it definitely made things quite a bit easier. We will eventually be getting to doing that mine. We're working on it. We're trying to go through all of the extreme trials in order on mine difficulty. We're working on Titan. It's Titan. Titan's a struggle. Alright. Unukalhai, let's go turn this into you. Bismarck is no more. You needn't say a word. The etheric readings left no doubt. The Lord of the Mists is no more. For the time being, at least. After all, such beings have a rather troublesome tendency to return. Let us turn our attention to the Lord of the Hive, who in quiet meditation awaits your coming. Sounds good. We'll be getting to Ravana shortly. First, we have the normal raids for this patch to do. And no updates in the book. Fair enough. Alright, I'll see everyone next time as we get started on the normal raids for Heavensward. And then after that, we'll come back to Unukalhai for Ravana. I'll see everyone next time for that.